Howdy, welcome to Practical Principles. This is Practical Prince. We're doing Talk and Tarot, so go ahead and comment, chat, ask your questions. We'll just do as many readings as we can with the time we've got. And until we get those, I'll set up our camera. See if we can get a good screen today. Hey Zena, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Holidays treat you nice? Yes, you may. Go ahead. I'm just going to set up our camera so that we can see it. Ooh. I mean, my first question is like, regardless of that, do you still want to be with him? But maybe that's a follow-up or just something to talk about later. Go. Oh. Oh. Yep. And nope. And we want the back camera. We want the cards. Cards, please. That's not working as expected. Huh. Well, yeah, that's a little weird. Well, maybe it's other stuff that was making it unhappy. Let's go ahead and highlight your question. We definitely want to do that. Oh, that's what it doesn't look like. There we go. Oh, we can at least keep that quiet. And let's get that camera the right way. There we go. Huzzah. And yeah, that's some good space. Okay. Thomas. Looks like we're using one of my newer decks. So this was by the same person as the Destiny deck. This would be Lucine, specifically the Twilight Edition. Okay, and given how you phrased it, there's a good chance this is 3-card yes, no. It might be that we get cards that represent his interest or his focus. We'll just see what comes. I think that might be it. They feel pretty light, so let me just check. So on the side. Okay, yeah, just the one card. So this will answer, does he wanna? Ooh, the Empress. Interesting. Yeah, let's go ahead and read that. We'll be referencing the Destiny deck guide. I don't think I got one with these new decks, but um, I can check that later. There we go. Oh, the Empress calls on you to connect with your feminine side. She calls upon the divine feminine side of you and encourages compassion, beauty, and love. She is deeply passionate and maternal. Her influence is creative, elegant, sensual, sexy, fertile, and nurturing. The Empress asks us to be kind to ourselves and search for beauty and happiness in our life. This card represents savoring the fruits of your labor while relishing in the rewards that have been earned. Experience the pleasure and satisfaction in your accomplishments. Yeah, I don't think anything specifically stood out, but the general impression I'm getting is uh, he would still want to be with you. I mean, normally this would be a positive card, so it would lean towards a yes interpretation. And then just, I don't know, the vibe you get with that um, just feels like a yes. So, okay, no problem. I am doing well, Lavina. Go ahead and drop that. Oh, sorry about that. AV, let's see. I mean, Lavina was here first, so I'll go ahead and do hers, but let me make sure, AV Morgan, that yours is. Okay. We're trying to understand what's going on. Okay, yeah. Your question's fine. Okay. Asking about Raul as a prospect. And then his thoughts and feelings towards you. Okay. So sort of like relationship and outcome. Yeah. Let's see which deck we get. Yep, we're going with Classic Destiny here. Gotcha. Well, can't do anything about the water being muddy now. We'll just find out. Yeah. Okay, Raul. Let me focus there. Something in there. That's a helper at best. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that might be a like it to work with. I think that's all the cards. Let me double check. What is what? And you can see those. Okay. 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 So yeah, overall as a prospect, thoughts. This isn't current feelings per se. This is more like feelings they want to have. So yeah, it's a little odd there. Okay. All right. So, I mean, temperance, they're wanting something that works out, something that is positive, um, different from all the muck they've dealt with, similar to the muck you've dealt with. But they haven't settled into that. They don't know if it's going to get there, which makes sense. As far as thoughts, they're pessimistic about this. It does not look good. Don't know why. But yeah, that's where his thinking's at. As far as outcome, it seems like you guys would be fine, if not great together. A balancing act that works out well. So there's that positive end if that route does happen, but it looks like it needs a little time to go that direction. And honestly, I don't know what is actually needed to get it there. So, yeah. Okay. Let me know if you have questions on that. We'll go on to Evie. I'm really trying to get into the why. Maybe Destiny, but it's probably sorry about that. But it's probably going to be a different one. Let's check. Yeah, Prisma Visions. I mean, his thoughts being pessimistic, I wouldn't let that deter you. So I would go ahead. I mean, that's no different from, gosh, I mean, typical guy shooting his shot, doesn't know if he has a chance and maybe thinks he doesn't, but it's only when it happens that we really know. So where we're seeing pretty good stuff on the other end of that, I would give it some leeway to run. run its course. Hey, Anonymous. No problem. Okay. Let me check. Well, and yeah, it might be that you're not. So these seem to be answering your question. This one I'm trying to get a sense because it's not quite. Um, it's probably on topic, but speaking to something else. Um, and it seems to be speaking to actions, or at least plans you should be considering. So, but yeah, so these going to help get us an understanding of why. 7 of chalices, 6 of chalices, 9 of chalices. Okay. I'll double check the 9 of chalices just to be sure. 7 of chalices, it's confusion. Doesn't really know. Evaluating things is difficult for him. Picking the right path, option, choice is a struggle just because the good and the bad look so similar or just aren't apparent to him that they blend together. 6 of chalices, it's sort of nostalgic. There is normally there would be a positive cleansing thing going on. Given the context and what's going on, he would be holding on too much to what's in the past. So whether that's not learning to compromise because situations have changed or just sticking with what used to work for him, whether or not it still really does work. Maybe it works in part, but yeah. And I can sort of understand why. I mean, especially with that 7 of chalices, it's hit or miss as to whether anything will work out. So it's understandable that he would lean on what has worked before, even if that's not right for the current circumstance. 9 of chalices. Let me pull that to double check. We'll just go ahead and read that together. Satisfaction, completed cycle, fulfillment. The 9 of chalices is all about satisfaction. Some ongoing cycle is nearing its completion, and you are about to be fulfilled and at peace. Like a sunset, this will not last forever, but its effervescent beauty makes it all the more precious. Treasure this moment, for its memory will bring you warmth on gray, rainy days. Yeah. Um, I know things do not feel happy and pleasant now. I think the emphasis we're getting from this is that closing of a cycle. Um, and by all means, ease your way into that. Take your time coming to terms with it. Um, but this is something that's going to move on. And yeah, I don't know if you being active or inactive is really going to change much about it. Because it's marching that direction. It's just a matter of time. So eventually this will come to a close and yeah, be a nugget of wisdom for you in the future. Go ahead and ask a question, Lavina. Um, Anonymous popped in. I don't know if they're still around. Um, if Anonymous, you've got a question, go ahead and ask that. At some point, I don't really get a sense of time, so I don't know how long this last stretch is. But yeah, it seems like it's done and behind. With that completed cycle, it finishes. And yeah, it seems like it would finish in a breakup, given everything else we've got. So, um, it really hasn't indicated anything about him. If anything, he's stuck in a rut, stuck in place. Um, okay, so I mean, yeah, he can spin wheels, but I think eventually you're going to pass on being stuck. So did that clarify, Avi? Just want to make sure we were good there. Okay. Okay. And again, you can take your time with that. But yeah, that's the recommended route and somewhat the inevitable route. So yeah, it does. So yeah, take your time. Given how much pain you've been in, I would encourage sooner rather than later, but matters of the heart, I don't know that you can rush much. You can give them more focus and you can give them more time so that they can work through faster. But you can't just pick up the pace willy-nilly. You still have to muddle through all the feelings. So. Lavina question 2.0. Job change, couldn't get a read. We'll go with this. This is more specific, well, and more elaborate, I guess. So, Should I change existing job and city? Related, but kind of separate. And then also, do we want to start doing tarot online? Um, not want, but should. Would that be good? Okay. Yeah, that's also going to be Prisma. Kind of what I expected. Okay, and yeah, we might have to do multiple reads, but we'll see how much we can get. And yeah, if I can't get anything, well, you'll know shortly. Yeah. So I don't know if we were able to get an explanation last time. I'm not getting cards this time either. But the sense I'm getting is that you're more than capable of handling this on your own, and that it's not going to be devastating whether you decide to stay or change jobs. Even the city part extending to that, it seems you're totally capable of handling that as well. So that's probably more or less the same. Um, and let me focus on the tarot card online. Let me see if that was everything. So, yeah, right. You're familiar with tempered pairs, the primary one being the gist, and then the secondary one modifying it in some way. So, the Hermit, King of Swords. Interesting. I mean, the Hermit would suggest seclusion. Um, so, I mean, the opposite of exposing yourself online or putting yourself out there. So, it seems like a no. Let me get the King of Swords. See if I can figure out what his twist on this is. Clarity of purpose, realistic expectation, ingenuity. It takes a great man not just to fight evil, but to subsume it, divert it, and use it for good. Such an immense task calls for impeccable character and keen clarity of purpose. Realism and ingenuity are your greatest weapons when faced with a mighty foe. Do not let good sense become clouded with emotions. Face the facts with cold stoicism and find the best way to proceed. The answer may be simpler than you think. So, yeah, the sense I'm getting is that, and maybe you're um, dipping into this a little early, maybe a little hasty. Um, these suggesting slow down, think about it hard. Um, and if you're intelligent about it, if you're thorough about it, then yeah, it'll be fine. But so not a hard no. It would be a no in the short term, I guess. But long term, really, this is just asking you to give it more thought, um, really consider it and what it entails, what that would do for you, and mean for you. Um, yeah, don't know that I can really elaborate on that anymore. So let me know if you've got questions on that. I'll go ahead and shuffle these back in. And let's go ahead and let people know that they can ask their questions. No problem. I mean, sometimes when going through a reading, some cards will stand out as good, but not essential to answering the question. There can be a lot of that and none of the essentials, so to speak. Um, Sometimes it's really obvious, just like a flat energy level, so to speak. And it's, yeah, none of these cards are really speaking out or standing out in any way, in which case, yeah, I set them aside and check, make sure that I didn't miss it. Um, but yeah. Um, yeah, so I don't know if that really helped you much. Um, it's not gut so much as lack of a solid answer, really, or then I then stop and um, dig down because at that point I'm leaning more personally on my spiritual connection since we're no longer using the cards. When I double check that, I'm really just communing with the spirit. So um, yeah, hope that helps. Hope that helped explain it. And yeah, I'm sure I'm unusual for that, but yeah. Anyways. Also, you already know, but for those who don't, I follow a Christian tradition. So, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. In particular, when I talk about the Spirit, that's what I'm communing with, the Holy Ghost. Um, and if someone were to ask a question like, can I get anything from my dead mother or grandmother? Um, it's not that I commune with that dead person, it's that I would commune with the spirit. And if they're willing to relay, basically, then I could facilitate that. As far as how I commune with the spirit, I mean, I grew up getting familiar with the impressions I get from it. Growing up in a religious setting, it was natural to just try to be sensitive to that and trying to be aware. So, um, yeah, I don't know if I really needed practice so much or if I, just because of that upbringing, was primed to be aware of it. Um, but yeah, so I get impressions. And then over time, I've definitely figured out how I can get simple yes nos for myself, um, how I can speak to it. Um, and yeah, we just translate that basically to the cards and tarot, which helps me get more specific because mine are usually just impressions. So it can be very difficult to find words for that. Whereas it's much easier. They pick a card, I go find the translation, and nowadays I'm getting to know some of them. But yeah, okay. Wanted to make sure we were good. All right, and yeah, if anybody has questions, go ahead and ask. Wednesdays have been a bit slow. We had a nice crowd today. Got to do some good readings. Um, so yeah, I'll hang around a bit. If you've got questions, comment, chat. Otherwise, I'll monologue and eventually sign off. So yeah. Hope you guys are having fun. Hope your holidays were good. It's kind of sad getting back to business as usual, but yeah, it was always going to happen. So yeah. Yep. And I don't know. I've been thinking about doing social media posts at some point, but okay, we'll see. Because I do technically have the most time for this live. Because this is end of the day for me. I just go tell I need to go to bed, basically. Friday seems to be popular for some reason. Unless it's a special day for some reason. I've only got the 1 hour, so I feel kind of bad that's the one people and has the least amount of time to share. Yeah, I haven't really figured out. You've probably seen the Twilight and Midnight decks, the ones by Lisa, the Destiny deck. I've used these a lot relatively. I was worried that they would kind of sit on the sideline until I figured out what their thing was, but they seem to jump right into the action as soon as I got them. So that was nice. So 2 for 2 there. I think there's only one deck I got that is sitting on the sidelines, waiting to be, I don't know, used for edging or practice or scratch paper. No, it's black, but yeah, I feel kind of sorry for that one. And then I've got a couple. Do I have a couple? I got one deck that was based on Forest. It's just an Oracle deck. So I haven't really considered using that for the tarot readings. But yeah. I should probably take a look at that at some point. Because, yeah, it's just different stones painted, yeah, using the coloring of the stones to guide a forest illustration. Mo Mita. Does he think about you? Let's find out. Yeah. Looks like it's a Lost Forest question, so let's go ahead show our cards again. Junk, junk. So given the way you asked it, most likely it'll be a yes, no, which for me is usually 3 cards. And the combination will answer. But we'll see. We've already been surprised tonight, so... Okay. Slide those. Yeah, I think that's all. We'll double check that. And then do we have extra information? These might have hints. This one's really just fleshing out the combination. So the world, 9 of fire, that would be 9 of wands. And then 7 of skies, that would normally be 7 of swords. 9 is good, the world is good. It's just the 7 that puts a damper on things. So, yes, but it would be on and off. It's, yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it. I don't know how intense it is when it's on, and I don't know what kind of frequency that on and off is. It's a little more stretched out, but I couldn't really say if it's a long periods versus short, really. So, yeah, that's as good as we've got on there. Yes, it is on and off. So I don't know if, like, it's not infatuation, that's for sure. But yeah, they do think about you from time to time. Let me check. Yeah, let me check the 9 of fire. The world usually deals with completeness, wholeness, but that doesn't seem to be answering that particular thing. So 9 of fire, resilience, persistence, courage. Yeah. Basically, there's some persistent feelings going on there, which would make sense why it comes recurringly. Yeah, I don't know if it's a sore missing, and I'm inclined to say that's not the case. But yeah, they do miss you and they think about you and what could have been. So, any other questions, Momita? I'll go ahead and put these away. I already know those details. So. Hey, Phantom. How's it going? Yes. um, probably not. If you want me to read on that, I can. Let me go ahead and read for Phantom and Tatiana. And then if you want me to check February, but given the on and off, well, I don't know. I would guess unlikely, but I don't really know. So. General reading. Yes, you may. And we'll just see what we get. Yep. Seems Cosmo's going to be the one for this. Oh, and let me go ahead and highlight your question. No problem. There we go. And yeah, Tatiana, if you want to go ahead and ask your question, yeah, we'll just do it after Phantom. So. Okay. Interesting. Okay. We can certainly do that. Okay. Let me check. Okay, there's the sense that there's other things that could be talked about, but having to pick, these two are going to be the most important to know. Yeah, that is intentionally reversed. Okay. So yeah, there's not really an order to these. They're just the ones. So the crow, this would normally be the magician. So having the ability, the capability to create, to manifest, to, well, make the thing you want actualize and come into reality. I'll check if there's anything different, just because Cosmo's a little different. And I'll have to check the Pathfinder. I'm familiar with the upright, but Reversed, not so much. So checking the crow. Wrong side. My bad. Crow. Okay. Yeah. We already summarized that one well enough. So nothing extra there. Let me find the Pathfinder, and more specifically, its reversed interpretation. Lack of ambition, irritability, insecure. Reversed, the Pathfinder exhibits emotional insecurities. They easily become disappointed when something doesn't go their way, and this can result in irritability and childishness. The reversed Pathfinder is not losing. They just need to find a way of seeing winning differently. Unfortunately, this misconception can lead to an even further lack of ambition to complete tasks. Don't let your doubts get in the way of your goals. The best lesson that can be learned from the reversed Pathfinder is that you don't always have to win to win. Sometimes just finishing the task is enough. Okay. And I mean, it was probably paired with the crow to remind you that, yes, you have the ability, the capability. So if you need to focus on a smaller thing, a shorter goal, break it down, that's fine. Setbacks really are meaningless before the crow, before the magician, when you're able to manifest and make it happen. So, okay. Tatiana. Okay. No problem. This seems to be the more specific version of your question. Nice to meet you, Adelaide. Hopefully you like it enough to stay. So yeah, Tatiana, go ahead and ask, sorry, Adelaide, go ahead and ask your question if you have one, or you can just watch if you want. I'm going to read for Tatiana now, and then Mo had a follow-up. And we'll probably go back and grab that, but then we would be able to read for you. Am I with the right person, or am I meant to go in a different direction? Let's find the right deck first. Yeah, okay. It's just interesting because the answer could be yes. You could be with the right person now for your development. And eventually that'll lead you in a different direction. That's a plausible answer. But we'll see. Am I going to have any issue? Not really. I mean, it's really a question of present tense and future tense. You're just speaking to two different aspects, which is fine. Let's see. Okay, well, that's involved in something. You're nice, but not right. Let's see. I'm going to have to adjust that, but we'll get there when we get there. Anything else to maybe it? Okay, so those are the right cards. What do we need to do? Okay, so that one's skew. And then we just need more space. Because, yeah, this is present in short term. Yeah, long term. Is it upright or do I need to change that? Okay, upright is fine. This one's skew, so it's not quite the upright meaning. It's offset, it's skewed. So I'll just have to sense what the difference is. But yeah, we might read the upright and then figure out what it is. We'll find out. So King of Cups. The notes on that one are strong and psychic. For this one, we got the Ace of Wands. Soul purpose, life change are the notes there. But given that it's skew, we'll probably read it anyways. And then long term, Four of Wands, freedom, creativity. Yeah. So you'll probably go a different direction at some point. How far out that is, don't know. It doesn't feel like it's imminent by any means. So, I mean, you've got time in this relationship. But yeah, at some point, bird breaks out of the cage. Yeah, I mean, King of Cups is Cups in general speaks to relationships, emotions more so, I suppose. But the King is a master of theirs, and so like this is the right place, right time. There's nothing wrong with this for now. I don't know. It might be an issue of the water stagnating, dwelling too long, and not improving, moving forward. But yeah, I mean, presently, good. So then, near future, and this one we'll need to read anyways, Ace of Wands. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Not that one. Oh, doesn't look like finding the ace. And there we go. Okay. And just double check to make sure I shared. Yep. Okay. The Ace of Wands is auspicious for every aspect of your life. The ace predicts new beginnings and inspires creativity, inventions, and spirituality. A right hand, the hand of receiving, appears from a cloud, offering a single wand. 18 light bursts emanate from this wand, signifying hope, based on the tree of life pathway that this card represents. The bursts represent an awakening of spirit and revived spirituality that brightens your life. There may be a heightened sexual desire in you, or you may be going through, which could bring excitement or birth new ideas. This is a fertile time in every part of your life. from conceiving new ideas and creative projects to beginning a new relationship to birthing a child. So, yeah, I mean, this is all positive as far as I can tell. Um, we already know that presently. Good. King of Cups. And it just seems near future. It's not that you're mixing it up, so to speak, but um, there's going to be not adventure, but a venture, is probably the better way to put it. Um, and that'll liven things up. So I'm definitely not concerned about the like stagnant water scenario. Um, yeah, I mean, you seem to have concerns about being in the right place at the right time. It seems like for you, you're still on track. Everything's okay. So yeah, and yeah, okay. So yeah, you're on track. Things are fine. Um, you're aware that stuff is going to need to change, but um, you don't really need to accelerate any of that. You don't need to bring any of that forward in time. I mean, it feels like you already have a path laid out, whether or not you know it, um, and that you're trotting along just fine. So I wouldn't be too worried at this point. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. You might not be 100% happy, but I don't think you're also planning to leave and exit and abandon it anytime soon. So, yeah, things are good. We'll start branching out. Eventually, yeah. Will it end? Probably. Um, but this isn't that time. So, okay. Um, yeah. Let me go find Mo's question. It was about. Okay. February, if I remember. Okay. Will he contact me in February? Okay. And we were speculating before, probably not, but we honestly didn't know. So let's ask cards, see if we can get an answer. All right, who's answering? Cosmo? Okay, no problem. I hope it helps. That's always the goal. Okay. And Adelaide, I don't think you asked a question. If you want, go ahead and ask one, or anybody else. And yeah, we'll just get to them once we're done with Mo. I think, is it both of them? Seems like it. This is probably just fleshing it out. All right. me double check. Okay, yeah, that was fine as filler. But if we're pulling in this tempered one, that'll, yeah, these will be our three. This one has light meaning. More so, our tempered is going to guide us on any extra information. And again, for tempered, the primary one is the gist. The secondary one modifies or tweaks it in some way. So let's go ahead and flip. So 4 of wands, well, 4 of embers would normally be 4 of wands. 9 of trees would be 9 of pentacles. And 5 of lotuses would be 5 of cups. This would be a no. Let me check on the others real quick, but I'm pretty sure those would be yeses. So the damper on things. Wands is what I need to check. Yeah. So 2 yeses and a no. That would be the yes, but it may take time. And really, the sense I'm getting is it's not the sort of contact that you're asking for or asking about. So yeah, it feels like there'll be some sort of communication, but not really of the type you're wanting. Yeah. We could get into the details of the cards, but yeah. I mean, I guess just to go over it real quickly since we have time. 4 of embers, that's 4 of wands, which we just saw in Tatiana's. So there's a certain element of freedom. And at the point that he contacts you or however that contact happens, both of you are already getting comfortable with that idea of, well, other options, other alternatives, not whatever it was you guys had or were or could be. 9 of trees indicates, how best to put that? Coming into their own, so to speak. You'll be a greater person for it. And yeah, well, 5 of lotuses deals with grief, loss. So there's sort of the sense of missed opportunity. It would have evolved into this. But again, it doesn't really feel like the sort of contact you were asking about. So yes, but no. Okay. And I think that catches us up. So we'll go ahead and pop up our reminder. We're taking questions. And yeah. So yeah, feel free to ask questions, comment, chat, if you want or have them. I'll linger a little while, and if it's quiet, that's fine. We'll just sign off until next time. Close back. So yeah, fun readings. Yeah, maybe I should post some of them to social media or something because I've totally been neglecting that. Well, apart from streaming, uh, but I don't know. How do I then pick and go back and choose? Yeah, I'm not sure. Or maybe I just start doing like um, a read of the day or something like that. Maybe a card of the day. Or just something talking about the card. Anyways, there's options. So we'll explore those at some point, assuming that work doesn't swamp me. Yeah, I think we used. Did we use midnight? I'm not sure we did. We used most of the decks today, so that's fine. I feel a little bad when it's like Prisma, Prisma, Prisma. But at the same time, right tool for the right job. So that's all good. So yeah, ask questions, comment. We can do readings. And if we just like the sound of crickets, then I'll sign off and go listen to them on my own. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how long because I got a new phone in December. So now my old phone is a dedicated camera. um, but using it for the camera burns its battery. And I don't know that I've got a good feel for how long that lasts. So I know it can go at least an hour, which we've done. I don't know that it can go a full 2. I don't think it can go 3. I'm pretty sure I've had it die before then. When I wasn't looking, when a stream was over and I forgot to turn it off. But um, yeah, that might end up being a hard limit on how long streams can go. But it seems it lasted long enough for this stream, and that's good enough for now. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. Fun doing readings for all of you. Glad we got a good crowd today. So much fun. Um, good luck with your week. Hope it goes well. And until next time, take care.